Hi, I'm Allie.
I'm Nick.
And this is But Have You Tried from the David A. Howe Public Library.
Is it too late to say Happy New Year?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, we said it last time, but now it's fully 2026.
Happy for real 2026.
Here we are.
I'm feeling good about 2026 so far.
Really?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
I've just spent, I know it's because there's been holidays, but I've spent a lot more time doing things I want to do in 2026.
Okay.
Proportionately.
Yeah.
Than I did for 2025. 2025, there were obviously so many more days.
There were.
So, I'm looking at a very small sample size,
Yeah,
but the sample size I've got, I've done more of the things that I wanted
Feeling good
to
about.
do. So,
okay. Did you observe the 12 days of Christmas?
I did observe the 12 days of Christmas. I wore my Christmas hat for all 12 days.
Did you?
Yeah.
I usually have a real strict cutoff, and I didn't do that this year. We kept using our Christmas mugs. Our tree is still up, but I think yesterday maybe was the first time where we were like, maybe we won't leave the lights on, So,
well,
I did. I let it.
It feels
linger.
nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, I listened to Christmas music a little past Christmas, so baby steps.
Well, it's I get that a lot of people are really burned out on Christmas by the time Christmas arrives because of how much by whatever the end of October it's already just
everywhere. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm I don't know. It should be a season that lasts a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels sad for it to just be one day and it's over, whatever.
I get it.
I understand why people are tired of it, but it's you have to wait. You have to have a little patience.
Yeah.
And then you can enjoy it more when it comes.
Well, isn't it sort of, we're going to get right into it, but isn't it sort of the capitalist mindset that it's Christmas morning and the gifts and that's it? You know what I mean? I feel that is maybe an unhealthy way to look at it.
I also feel capitalism is part of why it gets celebrated so early because it's September and there's already Christmas stuff in stores and you can't find your Halloween stuff anymore. You know what I mean?
On Christmas Eve, my son and I were out for something and we ran into Dollar Tree to get some, I think just napkins. We wanted Christmas themed napkins or something. Christmas Eve. And they were taking down the Christmas stuff and putting up the Valentine's stuff. And I was what a backwards world we live in. That's so bizarre.
Believe it. Well, I feel every year it's if we need Christmas lights and we wait to buy them until the time when we're actually decorating them, it's there aren't any.
Yeah.
And
that's real.
That's crazy. What are we doing?
I don't know.
It's not a good
I'm glad
time.
that we both sound like old men. I think it makes me feel a little bit better.
I am an old man.
So, yeah. I think we've covered that. So good for you. Good for you.
Anyway, so now that we've established we're both old men, how about Sabrina Carpenter?
Yes. We should get into that. But I did just want to ask in general, standout gift?
Oh.
Doesn't have to be your favorite. Just give me a highlight. Give me a fun gift you got.
There are a lot of good ones. I feel the one that's most on my mind is these really warm wool socks that I got from my brother that have kitties on them.
Gotcha.
And I have some other wool socks, but I always I don't know. They get holes. I wear them out. I use them constantly. And these are currently top tier of the wool socks I have. These are the first pull.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about them. They're actually keeping my feet warm, which is near impossible at this time of year.
That's a struggle for you, so I'm glad to hear it.
How about you?
Well, I'm going to give you a birthday present that I got. My wife got me, it's the marquee of an old Superman arcade game.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a piece on the top that would be lit up. It would be like Superman, and it's it has the old stickers on it and everything. It's legit pulled off an old arcade of a game that I really like. So I haven't decided where I'm going to put it. It would go pretty good in my office here.
I feel that definitely sounds like it would match the decor.
Yeah, and I would love to get something lit to go behind it so it has that arcade vibe. But that was an unexpected and a cool gift.
That is cool.
Overall. Yeah. I also kept drinking eggnog well into January. So
good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel I don't know. Once we finished our first batch of eggnog, I just didn't have a chance to go get more, which I'm sad about.
Yeah. We've expanded, so now my brother and I get the pumpkin spice eggnog at Thanksgiving and then the regular eggnog just for Christmas.
I don't think I've ever had pumpkin spice eggnog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it good?
I mean, yeah. It's eggnog with a little pumpkin kick.
Okay.
What's not to love?
I feel eggnog is already not so far from pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't have the pumpkin flavor, but it has all of the spices that go with pumpkin flavor.
My wife won't touch it. She won't even. She doesn't. It grosses her out. She doesn't want to. But my son is coming around. He'll at least he'll have a little bit. He'll toast with us. He'll drink the little bit in there, and that's it.
Eggnog is a weird substance, so I understand.
It is. Yeah, it's sort of plasma-like. But okay, Sabrina Carpenter. You assigned to me Sabrina Carpenter. And on the topic of Christmas, because you assigned to this prior to Christmas, the first album of hers that I actually listened to in its entirety was Fruitcake, which was her Christmas EP that she put out in November of 2023. And it hit number 3 on the holiday chart, so it was somewhat of a hit. Nice. I liked that quite a bit. So that was the one I dove into first, and I had a good time with it. The holiday charts to me are funny because it's like Brenda Lee is number 1 this year, even though Rocking Around the Christmas Tree is from like 1955. Yeah. So
it's like it just keeps coming back.
It's always fun to see what's going to happen. Have you listened to Fruitcake at all?
I've listened, I think, to like, I haven't like purposefully listened to it, but I think that I've listened to some of the songs on it.
Okay. I thought it was really fun. Like I would put that in the holiday rotation because prior to that, as you recall, my only real interaction with her was when she was a musical guest on SNL, and I was a fan. Yes. So I liked that a lot. But let me give you some facts. Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm just looking at the track list, and I know that I've heard some of the songs from her like Christmas special. There's one that's like, "What do I get my brother-in-law?" that I just think is funny. Oh, I know I've heard that, but I don't think that's actually on the EP that we're talking about. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Sabrina Carpenter was born May 11th, 1999, so she's older than you.
Yeah, by a couple months.
There you go. Okay, so you guys could have been in the same homeschool co-op.
We could have been. We could have been friends.
Yeah, you could have.
We still could.
Yeah, it's not too late.
It could still happen.
It's not too late.
Sabrina, if you're listening to this,
hit
me up.
You both seem to have good personalities. I'm sure she would like thick wool socks.
Who doesn't like thick wool socks?
That's a good question.
If you have cold feet, you need thick wool socks.
It is a crowd pleaser. My son got aloe-infused socks, and it was like probably he liked that more than the video games he got. So
wow, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah,
they have like
they're like the inside is very soft and
Is it like
silky.
The fibers of the aloe plant, or is it like the goo?
It doesn't feel gooey, but it's very it's got. I guess it has kind of a lotiony feel when you put those kind of socks on.
Okay. I am fascinated by this concept. I'll have to research this later.
It could happen. It could happen for you. Let's see. What was I else I going to tell you? Oh, right. So she got her screen debut in a 2011 episode of Law & Order SVU before gaining more prominence in shows like Sophia the First and Milo Murphy's Law, which are animated, so she was doing voice work. And, of course, Girl Meets World, I think, was her big, pop. Which I never watched. I liked Boy Meets World, but I never got to Girl Meets World. Did you watch either of those?
No, I've seen random clips of it online, but I haven't watched it.
I enjoy the little bits of the Pod Meets World podcast that some of the cast does. I don't listen to the podcast, but I watch or I see those on Instagram, and I enjoy the little 40-second clips.
Yeah, that's fair.
My friend Sarah Keeler, who just did the Nutcracker here, she had a Boy Meets World podcast for a hot minute, and I was going to be on it when it got to the episodes that featured the monkeys, but podcast didn't make it. So I never got to do it.
R.I.P.
So maybe, had she continued, maybe it would have gotten to Girl Meets World. Who knows? She played the role of Katie Heron in the Broadway run of Mean Girls.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes sense, though.
I didn't know that either, but it makes perfect sense. Did you know that I'm playing the principal in the Mean Girls musical for the Olean Community Theater?
Great.
Yeah, so you can check that out. She's released a total of 7 albums to date, plus a couple of EPs. Her debut album was called Eyes Wide Open, which came out in 2015, which I was kind of surprised to learn that she had a music career pre.
I know. I feel like it's like she's been making music for a long time, and the entire world just found out about her in the last 2 years.
It's just funny for because it's her, I think her 6th album was Short and Sweet, which is funny.
Because that's the one that popped off.
That's the one that popped.
The one that people know.
It's not often, I think, that because it's not like these were all just straight up indie, there's
no, right.
My mom had 50 CDs made and selling them out of a car, it wasn't that kind of thing.
No,
so,
it was, it was legit, but it just, I don't know, the very small fan base until recently.
Right. Well, I think it's just the child star has an album. I mean, that was not that out of the ordinary. But I mean, I think Taylor Swift has a few of those kind of albums, pre-fame.
I think there's one that people talk about that's her, Taylor Swift's first album.
Yeah.
That's I don't know, more country or whatever. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Well, where it really hit, though, as we said, album number 6, Short and Sweet, released in 2024, hit number 1. And then, of course, Man's Best Friend followed in 2025. And that was the main assignment here. You told me to listen to that, which I did. We have both both of these last 2 albums are in the system. So you can check them out if you have a working CD player. Do you have a working CD player in your home?
I have methods to play CDs. My CD player that I thought was working the last time I tried it doesn't work.
What are your methods?
Well, I can play one in my car.
Okay.
And I can also play one on Caleb's PlayStation.
Right.
So, which I mean, that feels a little janky to be let me fire up the whole, everything to. I could do it.
You could do it. I had one that I've had for quite a while, and it was just recently, it was like not working. And so I picked up one at a thrift store, and it works great. And I have been rediscovering CDs, which has been a lot of fun.
Nice.
So
that is fun. Yeah, I've been listening to them in the car a lot lately.
Yeah. So you can check it out.
Well, I actually have
David
both
A.
of
Public
these
Library.
CDs, so
Oh, you have them? Okay.
Caleb got them for me, so I
that's
don't
nice.
need to check them out.
Actually,
listeners can check them out.
Yeah, listeners can check them out. I bought my wife Short and Sweet before you assigned this to me.
That's really
funny.
funny.
So, I already had this in my house. Yep. Anyway, Man's Best Friend debuted on August 29th, 2025 on the Island label. Before that, the single Man Child came out June 5th, and then singles including Tears and When Did You Get Hot came out a little bit after that. Included on several Best of 2025 albums by journals like Consequence, Pitchfork, and Rolling Stone. Can you call Rolling Stone a journal? I'm not sure. What is the categorization?
It's Rolling Stone.
It's Rolling Stone.
We all know what that is.
Hit number one on many charts in the U.S., the U.K., and many countries around the world. Was this a number one? Certified platinum in Canada, the U.K., and the U.S. And those are the facts as followed. There's a little controversy surrounding the cover image.
Which I understand.
Has been making some waves there, so maybe people have heard about that. I think my favorite track is probably that lead single, Man Child. That she did that one on SNL, and I like that. And every time it comes up, it cracks me up.
It's funny. It's fun.
Yeah. I also
like
Nobody's Son. I think that, I like the whole album. I guess, spoiler alert, but I did like the whole album.
Yay.
Like, I've enjoyed listening to it on just sort of a rotation. I've been listening to that and Short and Sweet. And I think that I do prefer Man's Best Friend. And I think because of when this first came up and we were talking about the SNL appearance, that has sort of like almost like an 80s like vaguely synth pop kind of vibe to it. Like it's that like sort of throwback bubblegum pop, but it's also like very smart, like it's clever, and a lot of the lines, especially like when you heard the album multiple times, there are like genuine laugh lines with the lyrics. Like
there are
this
so
is
many
a funny thing
lyrics
that you've just said,
that I think are absolutely hysterical.
I think of like contemporaries like, say, Olivia Rodrigo or something, who I very much enjoy, but there's not much that I'm like, oh, that was hilarious. Whereas I feel like Sabrina Carpenter, that stands out to me a lot. The cleverness, not just of like a turn of phrase, but like funny. Like that is a good joke. So I like that a lot. I found Short and Sweet to be a little bit more country tinged in a way that I didn't enjoy as much. Like I like it fine, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the more recent. And there's even a duet with Dolly Parton on the extended version of Short and Sweet,
I think that's
which
kind of
feels
fun.
very right. So, yeah, no, I would definitely I was glad that we already had the album so that I could just like continue listening to it outside of just this podcast. But I thought it was a hit. Tell me why you like it. Why'd you pick it?
Well, partly I thought you probably would like it.
Okay.
Based on, I don't know, just like the vibe and know what I know of your music tastes, and the fact that you like Olivia Rodrigo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not similar, but they kind of are. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you like one, I could see you liking the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if, in like Spotify or whatever music app, it was like, if you like this, try this, I think they would be paired together in that way.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and they're very much like of the same generation and like thought process, headspace, I feel like. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I do really enjoy, like just the boppiness of it, I of course really enjoy, and like some of the like lyrics, like you were saying, that are just like funny or like unexpected, and like some of the kind of like storytelling almost that goes into it. Yeah. I really enjoy. So, and like, I don't know, this is one where it's like, I knew who Sabrina Carpenter was for a long time. Right. I actually saw a movie that she was in called Work It. I want to say it's like a dance movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a couple. She was in those Tall Girl Netflix movies.
Oh,
she was in Adventures in Babysitting, like the remake of that movie. There's a couple things like that.
Yeah, there were a couple random movies that
she
was
in anything.
Well, I really enjoyed that movie, and I think at that time I was like, oh, maybe I should like listen to some of her songs. And I forget what album it was that was out. One of the older ones at this point. And I was kind of like, like they're fine, I guess, whatever. But then when this most recent album came out, like obviously I'd heard some of the tracks from Short and Sweet like floating around in the ether. Yeah. And when this one came out, I also was hearing some of them floating around, and I was like, maybe I should actually like sit down and like listen to this and not just like kind of by osmosis absorb like the 30 seconds.
How studious of you.
I know. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to like, I feel like because of how music exists in the world right now with like so much online being like short clips that have really short sound bites from songs, it's like you experience just like these random little parts of it and not, I don't know. So I was like, I feel like I want to experience the whole thing. Yeah. And I wasn't.
I think that's something that's kind of making a comeback, though, because, you know, back in the day, if you look at, you know, say the Beatles, the classic example of this, I mean, they put so much time and effort into the sequence of the album, like not just how the individual track sounds, but how do these sit together, you know, the length, the storytelling that you get from that album. And that was like a real thing. Like you were intended to experience that as an album. And I feel like for the last 20 years, maybe at least 10, it's been a lot more like singles and hits and mixes versus sit down and listen to the whole album. So the return of this is an album listening experience is something that like I'm excited about.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. And I feel like when I like before I really got into like music streaming when I was growing up, I like had some CDs and I would like listen to them over and over again and like have all the like lyrics like close to memorized and everything. And I remember like really enjoying that and feeling like I got more of the experience of each song by doing that, but than just like by like hearing like a random song here and a random song there. And so definitely I've been kind of, I don't know, wanting to like recapture some of that experience of like just listening to the whole album. And obviously some are better for that than others. Like some, whatever, aren't, you can tell that they aren't really designed for that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I listened to it and I wasn't necessarily sure if I was going to like it.
Yeah.
But I did really enjoy it. And I thought, you know, again, there was just like so much funny stuff. And like, I feel like there's a real sense from her that's like, whatever, she sings all these songs about like, whatever, like romance and heartbreak. And, you know, I feel like there's kind of like definitely a little bit of like a media talking point of like, oh, whatever, all she does is wear like sparkly jumpsuits and whatever. And I feel like there's kind of this feeling from her that's like she knows that and she's sort of amused by it.
Right.
And I think that's really fun, that sort of like level of like self-aware, like playing with those kind of like ideas that people have of who she is and what she's talking about.
It's like, I don't know, she seems to ride this fine line where it's like a lot of the things she does, like you could classify as sexual, but it's like she's not sexualizing them. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't really seem to be like about that so much. It's sort of like that, I think, is maybe where the subversion comes in, like going back to the, you know, the Scandalous album cover and stuff. It's like she seems to be sort of playing with those expectations that people may have of that kind of music, or specifically about her, in a way that's just kind of funny. And I think it goes back to that, the humor and the cleverness of what she's doing. And it's interesting to see her, because I think in the comparison with Olivia Rodrigo, for example, like I think Rodrigo is chasing like a 90s vibe, whereas Sabrina Carpenter is chasing like an 80s vibe. And Dua Lipa maybe is doing like the 70s. And so like you have all of these things sort of coming together in like modern pop music in a way that just, you know, it's sort of an everything old is new again kind of approach, which, you know, as an elder millennial, I'm here for, because it's like there's a lot of things that I'm like recognizing and like pulling out of these things. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fun. Yeah. You know.
I feel like there's so much that it's like I think we can all acknowledge was like great from music from different eras. Yeah. And so I think like being able to like pull in some of those like motifs and like styles, but like still kind of include whatever like aspects that feel more relevant to like, you know, the year of our Lord 2026.
Right. But that's also kind of a timeless thing about, you know, music that feels, you know, effortless and eternal. Like, again, I'll use the Beatles as an example, because so much of what they were doing was like 50s and doo-wop kind of stuff that they were doing a spin on and making it feel like fresh and modern for the 60s. And because they were sort of using the threads of like the, you know, the early rock and roll, but making it feel contemporary, I think that's added to the timelessness there. And so I think some of the things that are happening now is doing that same thing, where it's like you're pulling the things that people liked over the last 40 years and you're making them fresh and new. And if you don't have the music vocabulary to like recognize those things, it doesn't matter. Right. Because they're just cool and hip and they work.
Fun things.
But if, you know, you can kind of pick little things like out, that makes it, I think, more approachable for people like me who are out of the target demographic, you know, but it still sort of works on multiple levels, you know, which I think is just fun.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so you said that you like Man-Child.
Yeah.
You like Nobody's Son.
Yeah.
Other favorites?
Those are the ones that rose to the top for me, but I don't know that there's any on the album that I'm like, oh, this is a skip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fair.
I feel like it's just fun. I don't think I feel as warmly about Short and Sweet. Like there are some where I'm like, I don't want to hear this again.
Yeah, I get that. But Nobody's Son is my favorite, so.
Oh, look at that.
Good choice.
Okay, nice.
There's definitely a variety in the like tone, like you were saying, some of them being more country.
Mm-hmm.
Are there ones that you feel like don't mesh with the tone as much?
No, I don't think I would say that. I think it's well-rounded, you know, so even the ones that are maybe like not to my personal preference, like I think that it is a well-sequenced and put together album. So like, I'm not saying that those are the ones that I would kick out. It's just a personal preference thing. But no, I don't think there's anything that's really like, no, that doesn't fit. You know, nothing that feels like that should have been a B-side, you know, that we got as a bonus track, maybe, you know, like that's a Target
If only
exclusive.
we still had B-sides.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point. But no, overall, I felt like it was a pretty, like, I don't see myself going back and I want to listen to that 2015 album, but like,
yeah,
you know, I could see when the next album comes out, like, I would want to roll it.
Yeah. I definitely feel like curious to listen to some of the older albums. And I did listen to Emails I Can't Send, which is, I don't know if it's the one right before Short and Sweet or if it's two before. I listened to some of that. And it was, I mean, like, it was pretty fun and it had a lot of the things that I enjoy, but I do feel like there's been like a real crystallizing of like the stuff that really is fun and cool about her music in the most recent albums.
Mm-hmm. How does this sit with the other things you listen to? Because you have sort of, the musical taste of like a reclusive Irish grandma sometimes, you know what I mean? So I'm just...
No, it's very weird because it's like, I feel like this is just something I've kind of always experienced with my music listening is that I have like 3 categories. There's like jazz, there's like more contemporary like pop, rock, whatever, that kind of stuff. And then there's like Irish and folk.
Right.
And sometimes
Belle and Sebastian,
there can be, sometimes there can be like a blending of these that works. But for the most part, it's like I just very much like, I don't know. I keep them separate. It's like I have my jazz playlists and I have my like contemporary playlists and I
Chet
have
Baker
my
sings.
Exactly. Yeah. I have my like, you know, whatever Irish music, weird little bands that no one has heard of kind of thing. So this very much like falls obviously in the like more contemporary like poppy stuff. And I feel like I've kind of built out some playlists sort of almost around this of like there were some songs that I was like, yeah, these are fun, and then I was like thinking of other songs that I know but I don't always like listen to a lot because they don't necessarily fit in with some of the other stuff, and I've kind of fleshed out some more playlists with that kind of thing, stuff that I feel like jives well with it. So that's been kind of
well, it
fun.
Seems like, I mean, I'm making fun of you, but it does seem like genuinely you have pulled off like an eclectic musical taste, you know, which I think is rare.
I feel like it's almost too eclectic though, you know? It's like it's causing me some problems. I'm like, rats, this song doesn't go with my other songs.
Yeah. Well, I did one, I think this was a New Year's resolution of mine like last year, but I do have this like app where I put little like reminders in, and I put different like, listen to this kind of music, listen to this kind of music. And I'm finding that I am listening to a lot more of stuff that I already like. I mean, it's not really like about finding new things. But I have been sort of going back and experiencing albums that I used to love that I haven't listened to in a long time, and that's been fun.
I feel like there's just like so much stuff, so much music that I like, artists that I like, songs that I like, that I just like forget about a lot of the time. It's like there's the music that I'm used to listening to that I'm like in the habit of like regularly playing. And I feel like, again, maybe music streaming has exacerbated this because it's like if I don't save an album or save a song or whatever, then I don't necessarily remember that it exists.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing with it, with, you know, the olden days of like a CD binder or something like that, you know, like you're flipping through and like, this is the album I'm going to listen to. And, you know, you only had so many in the car or whatever. And I think that was sort of like the rise of the mixtape, the mix CD. And then, you know, music streaming, I think was, you know, the next evolution step there. But it did make it so it was like, it wasn't so easy to be like tracking a particular artist or have like a favorite album because people weren't, you know, taking it in that way. So again, I'm kind of glad that that's turning a corner.
I kind of want to make a really cool mix CD. That's like on my list of, I don't know, things that I want to do.
I think you should do it. Absolutely.
I made a CD for my brother at one point because he was like tired of all the songs being romance songs. So I like found a whole bunch of songs that had nothing to do with romance.
You have a curmudgeonly brother.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but he was very curmudgeonly about this for a while. But so like I made that, and that was a couple years ago, and I enjoyed that. And I think I have some CDs, like blank ones lying around
CDs,
that I could. But I don't know. I've been thinking about that lately of like, I don't know. Like obviously I have playlists on like whatever, Spotify, but I feel like it would be fun to
I made a lot of mix CDs in my day. Like we're going on a road trip, I got to make a new mix. And when my wife and I first started dating, I made her a mix CD.
Nice.
Very classic. I used to, when I was really young, I would do like radio call-in shows, like, hey, can you play this song? And then they'd play it, and I would like hit record right when it came on. So I have
That's
a
really
bunch.
funny.
I think I still have them of tapes that have like, the cutoff or intro from the radio station like on the tape. And I have the certain songs, when I hear them, I expect the next thing on my mixtape to play. You know
I
what
understand
Like,
that.
it's just deeply ingrained in my head. So, yeah. Well, listen, Allie, I know you like Sabrina Carpenter, but have you tried pulling something from the magic pick hat? Do it.
Okay, I'm mixing them
So we don't know
around.
what this is. This is just, we put together a bunch of things that neither of us have tried, and Allie is going to select ours here.
I'm hoping it's something good. If it's something...
If it's that terrible movie that we watched with Kendra, I don't...
No, I made sure that
Pocus,
got pulled
no.
out.
Okay, thank
it's
you.
It's not in there.
Good.
What we've got is Anna Karenina.
Jeez. Okay. All right.
I mean, it's winter. We have time.
Yeah.
To be.
I mean, we only have a month.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, there's less going on.
That's you're right.
There's
you're
less
right.
going on. So
that's a big boy. Okay.
I think that we need to do our best, but if we don't finish,
is that Dostoevsky? Who is that?
I think so. Or is it Tolstoy? Tolstoy.
Okay. Let's do it.
I think,
so you've never read it?
No.
I've never read it. It's like a Keira Knightley movie came out.
I want to say
right?
that you're correct about that.
That looks interesting to me. I mean, it is one that's on my list. That's why it's in here.
Right, for sure. I mean, yeah. I think this is good because I have wanted to read this book, but it just feels like such an undertaking. So I think having to do it
for sure
is going to be crucial.
Sure. Hold on. I just want to verify the length of the audiobook, just so we know. The audiobook. Are you ready? Would you care to guess?
I'm so ready.
Do you want to guess? How long is the audiobook?
I'm going to
Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy.
35 hours.
You're so close. 39 hours, 29 minutes.
Okay. All right.
I'm at the midway point of my Ron Chernow, Mark Twain biography. I'm just going to have to put that aside.
I'm at the midway point of the third Stormlight Archive book. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. 20 hours into it.
Okay. So we're going to hit January hard. Okay. We can do it.
We can do it. I believe in us.
You know what's tough, though? Because I'm definitely going to want to at least half and half with audiobook here. Things like this that are in the public domain, it's so hard to find a good one.
I know.
Like a well-produced one.
I know. Well, because it's like you can go on certain sites and it's like, there's a bunch of audiobooks, but it's like there's like coughing in the background and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see how it goes.
I actually have a copy of this.
Yeah,
that
I
I've
think
been,
I have a copy of it too.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I do. I thought it was here, but it's not. So I must have one in my house. So, okay. I don't even know what it's about.
It takes place in Russia.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I've got. I think there's tragedy.
Okay.
That's what I've got.
Okay.
That's what I've got on that.
Great. That's just what I need right now is the downer. So, amazing. Okay.
Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks for our bookshelf episode, and
Yes.
we'll talk about all the things we're reading and watching and listening to, and whether or not
we're not gonna have
making
time to do
good
any of those
progress
things.
on Anna Karenina.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then.
Okay.